So today I am going to present Amazon Forest Monitoring using fully convolutional neural networks. The objective of this study was to classify forest and non-forest areas to allow the monitoring of the land cover change in the Amazon rainforest, especially in the state of Pará. That is one of the most affected Brazilian states due to deforestation for cattle ranching and other reasons. How this was done? This was done using, of course, fully convolutional neural networks, especially, or in fact, it was a UNet architecture. Which technologies were used were Google Colab for processing alongside TensorFlow and Keras for the definition of a model, loss functions, and optimizers. Also, Google Earth Engine was used as a library inside Colab and also as a satellite imagery source. Especially talking about the satellite imagery, the satellite mission selected for the monitoring of the forest land cover change were Landsat 8 and Landsat 5. Also, Sentinel-2 was studied only to be compared in 1 year with respect to Landsat 8 to compare the results. The period of time was from 2000 to 2018, so almost a 20-year monitoring period. The methodology, as I said before, the chosen architecture was the UNet. And what do we need to train a model using the UNet architecture is the RGB and near-infrared bands of Landsat 8, for example. In this case, I'm going to explain the process for Landsat 8, which is the same for Landsat 5 and Sentinel-2. But also we need an already classified image from which the model can learn. In this case, it was chosen from an experiment performed before by Professor Brovelli to classify forest and non-forest areas using Google Earth Engine, and it's already implemented random forest algorithm. So with these 5 bands, RGB, near infrared, and the land cover band, we are going to use it to generate some patches. These patches are going to be constructed around a set of training and testing sampling points. In this case, we chose to work with 100 training points and 300 testing points. The patches are generated in the following way. We have a sample in the middle, a kernel size chosen of 64 pixels that are going to go around this sampling point, and this is going to describe the neighborhood of a point. This is going to teach the model how does the surrounding of a sample look, and depend on the need to say why is it forest or non-forest. So having all the patches, we are able to train the UNet model already defined in Google Colab with the help of TensorFlow and Keras, and we are able to classify images. For example, with Landsat 8, we classify the year of 2019 and 2015. These are the 2 results, and then we can, using a calculator, compute the forest change. From forest to non-forest, it was a forest loss, that is the one colored in red, and the forest gain is the one in green. The others, of course, are no change. So we can see here specifically in the monitoring period, another thing that's important to mention is that the classifications were validated using external validation points through Collect Earth using high-resolution imagery, which of course this high-resolution imagery was not available for the first 2 years, but was available for 2010, 15, and 19. These are the results. Overall, the model during the training period had training accuracies with respect to the testing samples of above 0.96 in all the cases. And these are the results of the overall accuracy and kappa indexes with respect to the external validation points. So after having all the classifications, we can compute the forest change from 2000 to 2020 of 2019, sorry, every 5 years. And we can see here the forest losses and gains in square kilometers. We can see that the biggest deforestation was during the first period of 5 years, and it was of around 4,000 square kilometers. And in the following years, it was around 2,000 square kilometers, while the forest gain didn't increase as much as the deforestation in every period, of course. We can conclude that the overall accuracy of the experiment is overall excellent. It was in average 0.97. Also, the unit architecture allows us to perform ad hoc classifications where we want to include more classes, different years of, also choose different kernel sizes to describe the neighborhood of a sampling point, and also to choose, we are able to choose less the training and testing samples. I am currently working on this, and we can achieve the same results with fewer information. That is what we always want to achieve. Also, we can change the monitoring period, can increase to 1 year monitoring period in all the 20 years to have more detailed results. And of course, this model is able to predict bigger and bigger areas of the Amazon rainforest, of course, investing more time on it. So thank you.